So for quite a while now, I've been using this Maono USB mic. It maybe costs $25, $30. I've just been super happy with the sound I'm getting out of it. Is it still the reigning budget USB champ? Well, Movo decided they'd send me their new web mic. And basically what I want to do is a shootout here. I want to try this guy versus my Maono to see if it's any better. Is it worse? Is it the same? Can you tell a difference? We'll talk about it in this video. I'll do tests, samples, all that jazz. So that is what we're going to dive into in this video. Let's see what we get with the Movo mic. All right, so this is the box. 2-year warranty on the top is what it says. And it's heavy. It's got like a density to it. So that's a good sign, I would say. Oh, it's like a whole foam cube coming out of this thing. Here we go. A little bit of documentation in the box there. But let's see. Oh, this thing's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Whoa. Wow, look at how big that thing is. That's way bigger than I thought it was. Kind of reminiscent of maybe the snowball, like the blue snowball. It's like we got a little USB cable in there. And what else? Okay, that's USB-C to USB-C. And then we've got... Oh. Ugh. Can't get into this thing. Just regular USB to USB-C. Is that all that's in there? Yep, looks like it. And we got a little, some sort of little thing there. So what was so heavy? The microphone itself is not actually all that heavy. The stand is quite heavy. It's got a very solid metal base. Looks pretty nice. I probably won't use it on the stand. I'm a boom arm kind of guy myself. So what we'll do is we'll take the microphone here and we will get it set up on my boom right here. You can see on the mic, we got USB-C on the back, headphone jack for monitoring. It's got a little gain switch on the side here. And what do we got over here? We got, okay, oh, this is headphone. So headphone on this side, and then this one is actually the microphone gain right there. Perfect. So I will mount this dude kind of upside down like this on my little dual arm thing up here, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, you know, just so we do this here before I actually mount it on my boom arm, is this sits on here, and there's like a couple of little holes that fits in. Like so. And then this guy screws into the underside of it to secure it to that. And that's how you would get it set up on the stand, even though I'm not going to use it that way. All right, so I'm going to just show you real quick kind of my setup here with this. So I've got, right, like this dual, I've got a boom arm coming out here, and then I got like this little kind of splitter thing so I can mount like a couple of things on here. Now, normally I got my webcam on there just for when I need to zoom and stuff like that. And then you can see I got my overhead camera is coming like from the ceiling up there. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here's the Maono mic, and I'm going to go ahead and mount the Movo on this side right here. So they're set up, you know, right next to each other for the test. Alright, so then we just need to take our little cable and we'll just run it back behind the monitor there with the rest of my stuff. Okay, so here's the camera setup. Got my camera about 3 feet away over there. Got both the web mic and my reigning champ, the Maono USB mic, sitting right there, both kind of equal distance away from me. And we're going to start testing these microphones out. So when I do these tests, I like to do it from several different positions just so you get an idea of what each mic sounds like, whether you're about a foot away like I am now, and you can see they're kind of just here in the corner of the screen, or I also like to get a little bit closer to where you can get that, that nice intimate sound. It can change the way mics sound. And then I also like to do a little bit further away. So this has been 1 foot with the Maono. Let's switch over to the Webmic. Same position, but now we're using the Movo Webmic here. And, again, we're just trying to see, this is about my typical setup as far as, how I like to keep things boomed just like a little bit out of frame. But, maybe you were doing like some type of a podcast or something like that. So maybe we need to get in a little bit closer. So let's do that with the Movo here first. So to save me from like messing around too much, I'm just going to lean in here, and you can tell that the sound changes substantially when you get close. It usually sounds quite a bit better, and actually that's a good trick if you're having trouble with background noise, is getting really close, and then you can kind of lower the gain setting on your microphone. I've just left it maxed here for my purposes, but you can play with that a little bit and probably get it pretty good. So again, this has been the Movo. Let's switch to the Maono. Okay, so I've shifted back a little bit just so I'd be just about as close to the Maono as I was with the Movo when I was doing that little test. And again, this Maono is my reigning champ for a microphone. It's $25. USB, I think the audio quality is pretty hard to argue with at that price. The question is the Movo costs about twice as much. Is it twice as good? Is it even as good as the Maono? That's why we're testing it, and that's what we want to find out. Okay, so the last test I want to do here is the far test, right? I'm about 3 feet away from the microphones, and normally I wouldn't recommend this, but you might be in a situation where this is as close as you can get the mic to you, and if that's the case, I want you to know what that'll sound like. Even if you just have it kind of sitting on your desk or towards the back of your desk, this is probably about what that's gonna sound like. So this has been the Maono. Let's switch back to the Movo and do the same test with it. Okay, so again, this is now the Movo, and again, I'm about 3 feet away from it, so pretty far away. Really, these mics, probably neither of them sound great from this distance, but again, it gives you an idea of how they'll sound at all these different distances. What we need to do now is I need to sit down. I want to listen through all of these tests, and then I'll come back and we'll have a conclusion about this Movo, this new Movo Webmic here. All right, conclusion time. So I've listened to all the test samples and all that stuff, and after listening to it a couple of times, I really think that the Maono still is the better sounding microphone over the Movo. The Movo just has kind of like a nasally hollowness to it, and the closer you are to it, the better it sounds, that's for sure, but I still don't think it sounds as good as the Maono, which is what I'm back talking on right now, right? So just to do one more quick comparison, I'm going to switch back to the Webmic, and then we'll end the thoughts here. Back on the Movo here, and again, it's not a terrible microphone, but at $50, I feel like they're asking enough for it, that there's lots of other things in that price that I think probably sound better than it, and not to mention, I think the Maono sounds better, and it can be had for like $25. So when it comes down to it, I just don't feel like I can really recommend the Movo Webmic. Maybe, in the next iteration of it, it'll come out a little bit better, a little more natural sounding. But for right now, I don't think it's quite there. And I think the Maono, why $25? Why argue with it is kind of my point. So that's my review of the Movo Webmic. I hope you found it useful. If you like these types of tests, consider subscribing to the channel. I mostly do headphone and headphone-related gear reviews, but every now and then I'll do videos like this that kind of talk about the gear I use to make videos, and I'll test some different things out, like microphones or cameras and things like that. And sometimes I do some things kind of gaming related as well. So if any of that interests you, again, consider subscribing. But either way, I appreciate your time. I hope you got something useful out of it. Sound off in the comments down below what you thought when you were listening to the audio. And if you thought maybe differently, or if you agree, I always think it's good for people to hear multiple opinions. So, definitely, if you feel compelled, add a comment down below. Thank you for your time, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.